Most of the females that have hired me have gotten anywhere between 30 to even up to like 100% salary increases simply by telling their story differently, by owning what the value they bring, and by not backing down at the seat of negotiation. I teach them how they can negotiate in salaries or in leadership. This week was teaching a vice president how she could speak differently in meetings. And she is an African American female vice president. And I asked her, like, does this happen? Do you feel masculinity dominating the room? Do you typically have a quiet voice? And she goes, oh, yeah, I speak very little in meetings. And I told her, why? And she said, because I've had people tell me, well, we don't want to hear your opinion. Or I've had people that I shared the idea, rather timid, quiet, her by nature, share it. A male share it about 10 minutes later in the meeting. And then the leader of the meeting says, that's a great idea. When it literally was her idea. She was the first person to bring it up in the meeting, and she got zero credit. And she told me, Chris, I don't know if this ever happened to you, but you know what happens regardless of your title, even as a vice president? Eventually you quit speaking. It hurts too much to be shot down over and over for being a minority when you have great ideas and nobody wants to listen. So I taught her it's important to sometimes sit up, have your shoulders back, own a little bit more space in the boardroom or in your camera, and then you need to have a higher volume, speak a little bit more on a volume scale of 1 to 10. She only spoke at about a 2 or 3. The problem is that doesn't exude confidence, and it also isn't it's not owning much of the vocal space in the room. So I told her this was an exercise for you to solve this if this is you. This week, whenever you watch this, over the next 7 days, put yourself in situations to go talk. If that's in line at a coffee shop, in a grocery store, or at a dental appointment, go talk to strangers. They don't know who you are. And when you talk to strangers, make yourself talk 2 decibels louder or 2 volume levels louder than you're typical or used to speaking. Even in the dental office. If you only talk like this sometimes, try to talk like this and say, hey, it's so nice to meet you today. How is the weather outside? And try to ask real questions. Real questions matter. It will help you become more articulate. Don't ask about the weather. Say, hey, what is it that you do for a living? Or what was a trip that you just went on recently with your family? People like to talk about themselves. Don't think that's weird. I get told this all the time. People would love to tell you about their family vacation. Okay? Like, let's just get over that. They want to tell you about the cruise they just went on. They want to tell you about Disney World with their little kids. And what you're going to learn is it will become a new normal for you. If you keep practicing this, then you go and you move into your meetings and you try to speak at a 4 instead of a 2, and you start commanding more attention.